off and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble.
Hey guys, Coach Dan here. We are another fresh one here. Warming up, getting up, psyching up, something up for a last workout of the week. So pull workout, feel good today, had a good sleep. How good sleep? I reckon that's something that the older I've gotten, the more I value. A good night's sleep, kind of get excited to dive into bed knowing how good it makes you feel. Some of these young people, they just go without it. They rave for 5 days and they just don't care for it. But poof, without a good night's sleep, I reckon I'm a sack of shit. No, anyway, so pull workout. To the specifics of today, this one keeps rolling, this workout. There's nothing to change because we're making progress, so we keep making progress. So yeah, there's not always change that needs to be made all the time. In some instances, you just let the workout roll. Your body is adapting well. If everything is going well, why would you change it? Variation may become important at a certain stage, but if you're making progress, you're making progress. Your body feels good doing the movements. All this kind of stuff is good. Like in my mind, there's not really a reason to change. You've kind of, you've nailed it essentially, and maybe it took you a while to kind of get here, but now it's rolling. So just keep rolling. And then eventually there might need some changes that to be made, like an exercise plateaus as far as progress, or stops feeling effective, or your elbow or something starts to feel a little bit funky. So in that kind of instance, then it's like, yeah, maybe it's time to change that out or do something different to kind of, make that feel better, change hand position, whatever it might be. But in some circumstances, just keep rolling, just keep getting better, just keep showing up, and the progress will come. It's not always so obvious, and, doesn't seem like it's going like this all the time, but it will come. You just keep pushing away and keep showing up. All right, let's hit it. We're going rows first. So on this day, this is the second back day of the week. I do 2 of them. This day starts with more upper back dominated pulling movements or back movements, whereas my first day of the week starts with more lat. So they both kind of get one shot at it when I'm the most fresh, and then I would move on to the other. So a few upper back movements, move to some lats. On the first day of the week, a few lat movements, move to the upper back. And, that's not a must. It probably doesn't matter, but I just do it just in case, they both get their love, right? All right, let's head to row number 1. Let's get it. All right, so first movement is our neutral grip pin-loaded row. So for this one, we are taking a neutral grip. We're using a chest support. So I reckon a chest support for training upper back is a very valuable tool because it helps you kind of roll and open up your back around the pad. Whereas if I do another upper back movement today where I don't use this, and you just kind of have to actively let your shoulders roll and then pull them back. This kind of helps you do that, gives you stability to kind of lean into and just pull off of. So when we're thinking upper back for rows, we're thinking get the arm away from the body, usually a little bit. If we want to make this lats, we're trying to keep the arm close to the body. So some of these neutral grips, meaning, any reverse grip, anything that's kind of like this, if it's coming from a horizontal position. So for this, I take a neutral grip, arm comes away from the body a bit, and what that will sort of make happen is that my whole shoulder will move a little bit more, and therefore upper back traps will kind of get involved. So with this one, I'll kind of reach over, grab the handle, lock my straps in so I don't have to worry about the grip, bring it back, lock in, roll shoulders over the pad, pull them back, roll them. So all the way, I'm letting it all roll forward, feel that whole upper back stretch out as much as possible, and pull it all back, and then repeat. So this one's going pretty well for it. Like I said, I've been making progress. Got a heavier weight today, so that's cool. Let's go. Nothing to it but to do it. A couple of upper back movements, then we move to the lats. We've got our chest supported neutral grip row done. Now for this one, we're going to do something, it's still a horizontal rowing movement, but what we're going to do to try and target a little bit of a different part of the back is lean back. So if we think about the upper back, people these days split things up into smaller and smaller components, but if we just take the traps as an example, the traps have what appears to be a few different functions, things like shrugging up like this, kind of bringing the shoulders back, bringing the shoulders down. So potentially to make sure we're challenging all the muscle fibers overall, using different movements to target different functions might have some merit. So if we've come from doing like a horizontal kind of row, and now on this one we're going to lean back a little bit, and there's going to be that slight upward row moment. So just sort of targeting a different part of the upper back or a different part of the traps. So I've got the mag grip, which has this funky handle like this, but any kind of bar, probably like an overhand, which is going to have the arms come a little bit away from the body. Get yourself set, lean back, and then pull in. So essentially, I'm targeting the part of the back I want to, or I'm essentially lining up with the resistance, the part of the back that I want to target. So if I just go straight, it's going to come like this. It's going to be similar to the movement I've just done. So I lean back, and then now I'm slightly going up because I've moved the orientation of my body. So we're just targeting a little bit of a different part. Maybe this targeting of different parts of the back and stuff like that doesn't have like heaps of merit, or kind of that might do all the job in one exercise potentially, and this is just being a bit finicky, but I like the exercise, so I don't have any real reason not to do it. If this is a bit of an insurance policy to make sure we're training all of these muscles, well, all of these parts of each muscle overall, I'll do that insurance policy. I suppose a downside to this is kind of moving from different exercises. That takes a little bit more time and stuff like that. But again, just an insurance policy. If it has a theoretical basis for doing it, I'll do it. And then in the future, if we find out just, a row like that does it all, and, this is a bit redundant, then I'll change to that. But for now, we target, individual components such that we know we're using it all. I suppose there could be an extreme case of this where you kind of get so fiddly that you do like every single angle you could even think of. You get a projector out and go this. And I think even that's a bit excessive, but maybe I need to synthesize my concepts here. But just essentially over the course of time, targeting some slightly different positions of that back through some slightly different movements. That's what I'm going with for the time being until we find out more. All right, let's keep going. categorizing this as our last upper back movement, but it's definitely going to give your lats a good stimulus as well. So essentially what I'm trying to train here, or learn to feel and stuff like that, is this downward elevation of the scapula. So if we're again talking about different functions of the traps or the upper back, or let's go traps specifically, there is different functions it does, and one of them is going to be the depression of your scapula. So if you think about your scapulas as big shoulder blades, having them kind of rotate in and down is one of the functions. Now if we look at our movements that we have done already, we've got this horizontal row, and then we've got this lean back row. Now we want to do a pull down variation where we downwardly rotate the scapulas in this position. I found that my lats get jacked up as well. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, I'm categorizing this as lower trap exercise, and therefore it goes into my upper back pool of exercises. So we've got a pull down, we've got a straight bar, so I'll strap in and bring it down so you can see. So we lock this in, lean back, let the scapulas come up and out. So I'm not kind of locking into this position, let them come up, pull down. So I've still learning this one, to be honest. I'm still trying to figure out where to kind of hit on my chest, where to place my hands. I've been fiddling around with it for maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. It's just a bit of a tough one. It's not something I've got a lot of experience in trying to train that depression of the scapulars, but keep working on it, keep practicing and see if we can't get better. And yeah, I considered changing handle today, but I don't have a real reason for doing that, so I'll just leave it and yeah, kind of figure out where should I lean so I can best feel my upper back, or the lower part of my upper back, or lower traps. Where should I lean? Where should I touch the bar on my chest? Like, what should I line things up with? Which, yeah, I'm still haven't figured out yet, so I'm still working at it. When I know, you'll know. So we shift from the upper back being the focus now to the lats being the focus. So components of the lats, again, non-conclusive, but essentially they'll usually put them into 2 categories: the thoracic lat and the iliac lat. And the thoracic lat is essentially, if you ever look at the model of the back, whereas lats come sort of underneath your armpits across your rib cage, kind of come in and then start to come down the fibers. So a thoracic lat, you would be categorized as the ones that more come in. Now usually they're more, they're suggesting that they're kind of more involved in the horizontal rowing movements, because that's kind of how they align. Whereas the iliac lat is kind of more from the pull down movements. So, again, not conclusive that you can work them separately, but again, just to tick all my boxes, I'll do this one. This is going to be my vertical option of the row. This is more like 45 degrees. So we're coming from that above position down, and then afterwards I'll do a horizontal. Now, for lats, we're thinking arm closer to the body usually. So if we were for upper back, we're trying to kind of get, force the arm away from the body. But when the arm goes away from the body, the whole shoulder kind of starts to come around, and you get that squeezing of the shoulder blade sensation. Here, we don't necessarily want to chase after that. We kind of want to keep the arm close and think about those points that we're trying to drive. So you're trying to drive your arm down as if it's going into that iliac lat, or your pelvis, basically. Driving that down, not around. So for this particular variation, so these have become somewhat popular recently, where people will take a bench over to a cable machine or a cable machine and kind of line it up, and that's completely fine. We have a machine here that does it, so it's sweet. You just kind of lock in. I'll kind of move over such that I'm lined up, let the whole shoulder kind of go up, and I'm thinking about sort of pulling directly in line from where that resistance is coming from. Arm close, pull in, this kind of locks me in a space, this stabilizes, and we're just here. Boom, straight in there, close to the body, like that, over and over and over again. This is a good one. Again, the bench over to the cable machine would be fine. Equally as good, I reckon. It just takes more work. You have to take the bench over there, blah, blah, blah. This is here, set up, ready to go. We load up the weights and we go. All right, lats now. Nice quiet gym, very peaceful. All right, let's go. Okay, next up, our horizontal lat movement for today. So we'll call that our vertical lat movement, that single arm pull down. That felt nice. Something that I did do there a little bit differently is technique wise, as I was going back to the starting position, I kind of rotated my hand inwards, and that felt like a deeper stretch in my lat. Now, if there's anyone who's better at anatomy than me, they can tell me why that might be. That'd be great, but that's what I felt. Don't tell me my feelings are wrong, okay? So yeah, heading back towards the machine, rotating in, coming back as I'm pulling, twisting back so it's a neutral grip, and then doing that so it's a twisting kind of motion. Felt good, so I'm happy with that. Now this one's another alternative looking one, but definitely worth a try. So we're calling this, we're not calling this, this is called a flexion row or a cable flexion row. So what you'll see in a section here is that I kind of actively let everything flex in my back, as well as getting this big lat stretch, and then I finish pulling through this position here. I'm taking a narrow handle such that the rowing movement is going to be maybe more inclined to use the lats versus like a overhand or a wider one, which you could do as well if you wanted to. But again, being this is my horizontal lat movement, I'll keep it with this narrow. And I quite like this just because it kind of moves the whole back, flexes the whole spine, and then also uses the lats. But the big stretch in the lats, that's also a big, what do you call that, selling point for this one, I reckon. The other way I could go about doing this is just to kind of stay in the flex position. But I like this whole flexion. I like moving my back as well. This is really the only movement where I do it. So actively let the back kind of round, get that big lat stretch, and then pull. So what I was saying, maybe I could just do it from here as well. But that kind of just becomes a vertical pull again, and this is more of a horizontal pull for me. And yeah, I like it that I'm flexing my back. I don't really do any spinal flexion extension stuff anywhere else, so I don't mind it. Under control on this machine. Feels good, feels effective, gets the lats jacked up, and that's what we want. All right, 2 sets here. You know what word makes me feel a little bit ill? Superset. Oh, can't even say it. Oh, superset. No, serious. I'm thinking about doing a superset here. So I had initially planned for this to be a superset because I was trying to increase volume. This is a Saturday workout for me. So I'm not necessarily in a rush on this day or have many things else to go to other than being a father and a husband. But no one's really awake yet in my household. So anyway, but that's to say I'm thinking about making this a superset again. So on this day, I get some extra lateral deltoid work because it's something I want to work on. And I have a bicep curl. Now, doing those together shouldn't necessarily affect each other too much. It's about 15 meters away, the preacher curl that I'm doing on this day, and we're doing 5 sets of each. So if I simply do this, walk over there, do that, walk over here, do this, that can save a significant amount of time and usually lead to decent gains on both fronts. So I think I'll try it today, time it, see if it kind of saves me much time. I don't really love doing supersets. I think for some reason, I don't know, I don't like it. Maybe I'll have to think that through. Anyway, this is a sweet lateral deltoid machine. So a unique one. What's the brand called? MedX. So a really nice path. It kind of goes off in what we call a scapular plane or a 45, not directly out to the side like you might see on some other machine lateral raises. And it's really been hitting the spot. So we keep going up on this one. Progress is progress. So we keep making progress. So what we'll do is we'll do a couple of warm-up sets on this one and then go over and do a couple of warm-up sets on the other one as well, and we'll show you both of those as a superset. All right, so the second half of this superset is going to be the machine preacher curl. So on one day of the week I do a lying dumbbell curl where my arm stretches behind the level of the body, and on the other day of the week I do the machine preacher curl. So I think it's a good combination to get the both. So again, if we're looking at direct research, the idea would be, theoretically the other variation where your arm is behind the level of the body potentially would be better because of the stretch that you get in the bicep. But this one, again, if we look at direct research, they have researched this versus like an incline dumbbell curl, and it was a dumbbell variation or a free weight variation of this as well, and they found that they came up with potentially that they grow different areas of the bicep. So potentially having both in a program might have some value, and I'm kind of taking that approach as well. And yeah, over the course of time, it's just good to kind of vary things, try hard on different things as well. So I use these straps. That's probably not absolutely necessary, but elbows on the pad, we get that stability, we can go to town. So again, a free weight version of this theoretically might be better because of gravity making it hard in the stretch position here, and then as you started to curl it would get easier because no longer are we going against gravity. But I like that this is easy to set up, you can just get in and go, and that's that. So here's how she's going to roll. Right, I'll do maybe another warm up on this, and then we're just going to walk from this to that, so lateral raise into preacher curl, and we're just going to walk back and forth, and essentially this serves as the rest for that as well as the walk over, and that serves as a rest for this as well as the walk over. And we just go bup, 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 bup. Maybe my lack of fitness is why I don't usually like doing something like this, so maybe it's a good thing. Actually get sweaty for once, actually work hard for once. So let's give it a whirl and see how we go today. I might time the whole lot and see if it does actually save a significant amount of time. If it doesn't really save any time and I dislike it, then it's probably not got merit. But if it saves some time, it might open up some time for either just getting out of here sooner or alternatively doing more in here in the same direction. So those are positive things. All right, let's give it some. All right, a little summary on that. So lateral raise into pre-chet curl superset. So 5 total sets, because again, they're both priorities for me at the moment. So they're getting some good love, extra love. Everything gets good love around for here. A bit of extra love. So yeah, doing this exercise is a rest for that muscle group and vice versa. Plus there's a walk in between. So it's about a 15-minute walk. Not in any rush, just kind of walk from one to the next. It took me about 13 and a half minutes, not including the warm up to do 5 sets of each of those. So I think that's good. I think the reason I haven't liked them in times gone by is because pain, as pussy as that sound, is like it hurts on here. And then you walk over there and then you got to hurt on there again. And maybe it's just been a bit hard in times gone by for me to kind of reset and hurt again. So, but I don't think that's a reason not to do it. My heart rate was fine, all that kind of stuff. If you were to do this something with exercises that were, really systemically fatiguing or made your heart, like I did stiff-legged deadlifts, I can't do anything for stiff-legged deadlifts for minutes afterwards. I'm fucked. So, but this bicep curl system's fine. You walk over there, your lateral raises aren't affected too much, and the performance was pretty good of both. So I think I might incorporate. Plus, being that it's a cold gym, this kind of helped me warm up a little bit. I still haven't even taken my last jumper off, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I think I will do that going forward and maybe start to incorporate to some of my other accessory stuff such that I can save some time and either, get out of here sooner, get to recovering and whatnot sooner, or alternatively allow for more work in the duration that I have. So good, happy days. Preacher curl, that felt good, that's been feeling good. That lateral raise machine, that's felt good and that's been feeling good. So on we march to victory. So I made a last minute decision here. So this is intended to work both the rear delts and the upper back again. So I'm going to do, on this you'd call it a rear delt fly, but what I'm really trying to work on, just in training in general, is just more control of my scapulars and making sure I can feel my upper back while doing things. So in this is rear delt fly. You do a machine fly on this, so it's a rear delt. I think you call it a fly as well, which is that movement there. But I'm going to do it such that I am going to roll my shoulder blades forward over the bench like I did with the rows, and then squeeze them together at the back. Roll forward, squeeze. So on another day, I'm doing a Y raise on my other back day. This day I'm going to try this. I just came up with this now, so we'll see how it goes. So here, squeeze the shoulder blades, let it roll forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. So if I wanted to do this for rear delts, I probably wouldn't go all the way. I'd probably consider just kind of going in this kind of range. But because I want it to be more about the upper back and just rear delts as as an assister or just coming along for the ride, I'm only going to go through the top half, really trying to squeeze at the back, roll forward over the bench, squeeze at the back. So it's really about this retraction of the shoulder blades versus kind of the arm moving, but they're both working here. So happy to call this a combo exercise with traps or upper back being in it and also rear delts. And we'll see how it feels as we go towards failure, what we feel more or less. Let's give it a whirl. is a wrap on this workout and this week's workout. So that's the last one for the week. In summary, in conclusion, good week. So took the back end of last week off. And so this workout I didn't do last week, and yesterday's and the day before's were all missed just for a little bit extra recovery. I felt quite fatigued, had a uni deadline and stuff like that. So to take that time to kind of recover that little bit more, let the body rest a little bit more, try and bring down some of that fatigue. I think it's worked quite well. The back end of this week's felt pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if something has to change surrounding yesterday's workout. A Friday stiff-legged deadlifting, just going to that workout already pretty fatigued, and maybe it's because of the week of work and just an accumulation of things. You get to that and then you have to get pretty jacked up for a heavy deadlift. That's quite tough for me. So yeah, it might be a matter of kind of tweaking the structure of the week or putting that earlier in the week or whatever it might be, so I can still put good intensity. If I had to do a back workout on that day or a push workout on that day, would that be better? I'm not sure, but there is some potential room for structure change. So yeah, and in order, what's coming up for me is essentially we're going to spend the next month or so still in a muscle gain or massing phase or weight gain phase or whatever you want to call it. I've then got a holiday or vacation, as some people call it. We call it holiday here. And then after that, I'm thinking of fat loss phase. I've got about 10 weeks before another trip we've got planned. So we've got some travel planned, so it'll be good to see how we train and travel and stuff like that. And usually when, going into holidays, vacations, etc., I put on weight pretty decently. I'm pretty good at it. So if I do a fat loss phase post this upcoming holiday / vacation before the next one, then it'll just, give me some room to not get too fat, basically. And then after that, then it might be another significant fat loss phase before we start a fresh weight gain, mass gain phase next year with some program changes like I'm discussing, like I've been dreaming about and all that kind of stuff. So those are some upcoming plans. What are we now? June. So still only halfway through the year, but for me that's been half a year worth of, muscle gain and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Not letting the weight get out of hand. So for some people, they need to, push weight up and they struggle with appetite and stuff like that. For me, I get big pretty quick, so I have to kind of put the brakes on a little bit, and that takes just a little bit of, being aware and stuff like that. So, all right, that's that, guys. As always, if you like the content, hit the little subscribe button up here. It'd be really appreciated. If you want to watch more, hit the playlist up here. It's got all workouts and all that kind of stuff in there. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.